everyone, it's PresidentGames.com here, and today we are at a Denver Astronomical Society meeting about telescopes, and we actually just joined the Denver Astronomical Society. I'm just going to call it DAS, which is really cool because that's the name of one of the characters from Dark Matter too, which is really cool. But yeah, we're at one of the meetings, and a bunch of people basically set up their telescopes, and you can look through different people's telescopes if you want to buy one. There's a really big one up there, which I doubt we're going to be able to buy, but it's really, really cool, so we're just going to take a look around at people's telescopes and see which ones they want to buy. There's a meeting at 7:30 about different types of telescopes and which one we're looking for, and we're just doing this as part of our astronomy studies, which I'm really excited about because I love space so much. It's just so gorgeous, so I'm excited to be learning a lot more about it.
Down here and look along it and try to get it pointed in about the right place. So get your eye close to that end and just try to get the whole tube pointed roughly at the moon. And you'll notice this moves up and down, left and right, really easy, right? It'll go wherever you put it and stay.
I know, we have some like that too.
I don't know if it's supposed to be like, is it supposed to be covering the moon?
So if you put your eye like right here, then the moon should be just over the top of it. Okay, so now you want to come to, it's a little off. So if you did a good job on that, it would be in there. I don't quite see it.
Whoa!
Oh, and notice what happens if you lean on it. You won't break the telescope, but it will move off target easily. Actually, this one also has this one has another type of finder that might be easier to start with. So if you put your eye here and look through the glass that way, you'll see some red circles floating out in space. See the red circles? Put the moon in the middle of those red circles.
Did you look? If you look in that hole right there,
You get it?
you gotta get really close.
Try. Look over here.
Put your eye. Here, let's see. Put your
You
eye
see the
on.
moon in there now?
I do.
All right, put the moon right in the middle of that black X. Now look in here. You should see it, but it might be blurry.
Do you want to try?
And you know what? You can take your glasses off and
Yeah. I just like,
focus the telescope for your eyes. So, there's some little black knobs here, these wheels on either side. Turn one of those. They're connected,
Be
so
real careful not to move it. Oh, they both do the same thing.
they both do the same thing.
Okay.
And so you just turn it back and forth until the moon looks sharp and clear to you.
Okay, so I just pointed a telescope at the moon for the first time. Like every time I've ever looked through a telescope, I've just kind of, oh, that's cool. Yay. I've never actually moved it around before, but I just moved this one around. It's really cool. This is what we're thinking about buying right here.
You remember what kind it's called?
I don't, because I'm
It's a Newtonian reflector
Newtonian reflector.
on a Dobsonian mount.
Okay, a Newtonian reflector on a Dobsonian mount. That's a lot of fancy words. But yeah, it's really, really cool. And yeah, this is like my first really experience with a telescope that's not like directly set up and has lenses and all this fancy stuff through it so that I can see everything. It's really cool, and I'm really excited if we're thinking about buying one.
And what did you look at?
I'm looking at the moon right now because that's the only celestial object that's visible right this second, at least from here. Also look at the clouds.
And what does it look like?
And you can see like every little crater here. I'll talk to Blue. You can see like every little crater in it, which is really, really cool. Every crater that's currently showing.
Okay, what's the difference, Puchon?
I don't know. This one seems a little bit clearer, but I might just be very stunned by seeing the moon
It
again.
seems a little clearer to you?
Yeah, it might just be because I played around. These were closer to my eyes than they were on the other one. But yeah, this one's.
And you want to ask what kind of scope this is?
Yeah, what kind of?
Okay, well this is a Newtonian reflector. It's the same as that. It's on a Dobsonian mount, basically homemade mount. But this is what they call a tabletop. So it's designed to be put on a table.
Cool.
Cool.
Now, this is a little bit different finder. You're going to see crosshairs. And it's got some magnification to it.
Oh, there.
The red target one is 0 power, so
Oh,
there's no
okay.
magnification at all.
Right.
So I'm playing around with this one, which actually has a light and different eyepieces. Like, So I actually get to play around with basically changing eyepieces and stuff like that. So this is my first eyepiece. This one was made for short people, which is nice because I'm very short people, so I can use this one really well. Like all I really have to do is kneel on the ground instead of being like, Okay, and now let's do this one, which is doubling your magnification. And I learned how to swap these out.
So it should make it twice as big. Don't put it on the ground. Leave it in the thing.
Okay.
Take the other one out and then put it in a holder, and then take that one out. There you go. It's cool that it has a little holder there.
Wait for this, obviously. And then put this one in. This one has a camera on it.
Yeah, you probably moved it a little bit, so you're gonna have to reslide probably.
Yeah. No, it's like in a tiny. I did this wrong somehow, because it looks like it's just like a tiny white. It looks like I had nothing in this.
Oh wait, put that back in.
This one?
Yeah, put that back in, and then put the other one in that one.
Oh.
Yeah, look at that.
That's a different thing. Okay.
You loosen the screws again
Okay.
to make room for it.
Okay, this is. There's a lot of things going on now. Okay. I'm like, I only see a tiny white dot. This is right. Just because it zooms. Oh, there. Whoa. Okay. I need to play around with this a little bit.
Focus and alignment.
No, I'm trying to align it a little bit better. Okay, I feel like I'm like looking at a picture inside of here of the moon, but I'm actually looking at it. I'm looking at that object up there. It's really weird because I can see, like I can even see a little bit of a gradient where the dark side of the moon ends.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how good this is, and I can see all the little craters. If I knew their names, I would say some. So we're actually going to take a look at the big observatory now because we're in Observatory Park, so we get to look at the really giant observatory, which I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, this is owned by DU, and we're going to learn a lot more about it when we actually head up and are able to see it. But yeah, I'm really, really excited to be able to look through such a giant telescope and see, hopefully see the moon really well. Okay, so that was definitely really, really cool. You can see, like, it looked like you were just kind of, like, standing just above the moon's surface. It was so cool. If you guys live in Denver, you guys should totally come and check it out. It's at Observatory Park.
They have open houses every Tuesdays and Thursdays.
They have open houses every Tuesdays and Thursdays if you guys want to look at telescopes. And it's just
So do you remember what it
What is?
is? The size and
It
type?
is a 20-inch reflector. 20-inch refractor.
20-inch refractor.
I thought so. And you said reflector over
And
here.
when was it built?
It was built in like 1889, I
In
think.
the 1890s.
1890.
And it's still like
Here and working
pretty much the same way it was. They said it's 95% original.
I know, it's so cool. And
So in the
you can see it
1890s,
Yeah.
people were looking at the moon through that telescope just like you just did.
That's so cool.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so it's actually too dark to film outside, so we weren't able to capture any of this on camera, but I got to look at the moon really well, and it was really, really cool. We got to look through several different scopes, and I actually got to see Saturn for like the first time, and I could see the rings, which is really, really cool. But yeah, it's just absolutely mind-blowing that I can see all of these things from somewhere that's really, really close to our house, too. And it's just so exciting. Hopefully we'll get a scope soon. We can just like hang out in the backyard or maybe in the baseball park right next to us and look out at the sky and just see all these different stars. It's really exciting.
What planets did you just see?
So I saw Jupiter and Mars, not Jupiter, Venus and Mars, and Saturn. Those are the ones that are visible. I don't know why I said Jupiter. I think I'm just thinking about Jupiter in general. But yeah, it's really, really cool. And I'm so excited to be able to learn. What we're about to do is a little talk on what scope we should buy. So we're going to take a look and see which one seems right for us. Because we really want to look at planets, but I also want to look at lots of supernovas and stuff like that, which is really exciting. I want to see those because they look really cool.
Astronomical Observatory. It was built in 1894, and at the time it was a world-class research institution. It's been owned by DU since day one. DU still owns it, but today it's a historic observatory, so it's best suited to education rather than modern research. And a lot of what goes on here, really most of what goes on here at this point, is public programs done by volunteers from the Denver Astronomical Society. That's us. So all the telescopes outside, the folks operating the big scope upstairs, We're all volunteers for the Denver Astronomical Society. The goal tonight is we want to do a little talk about how to buy a telescope because we know the holidays are coming up and a lot of people tend to start thinking of telescopes this time of year. And there is something that happens that I really don't want to see happen, is a lot of people get the wrong thing. Because there's a bewildering array of different types of telescopes out there, right? There's all sorts of different sizes, different shapes, different price points. You can spend $50 on a telescope, you can spend $50,000 on a telescope, and anywhere in between. And how do you know if you're getting the right thing for you, right? We have this just to serve as an example of what not to buy. So that's going to be my first and biggest message of the night, is what not to buy. So this is a small refracting telescope. Refractors have glass lenses instead of mirrors. So glass lens on this end, small glass lens on that end, long and skinny, right? Refractors can be good telescopes. The historic one upstairs is a refractor. It is a much, much bigger version of this thing. And 122 years ago, when this place was built, refractors were the highest quality instruments around. Today, I'm going to tell you, A, don't buy a refractor, period. Don't do it. The good quality ones are really expensive, and I cannot tell you how many people I've heard the exact same story from. I got this for my kid. They used it 2 or 3 times, and then it ended up in the back of the closet for the next 20 years, gathering dust. Also, the manufacturers count on you only using this 2 or 3 times before you throw it in the closet and never touch it again. Because guess what? If you use it more than 3 times, it'll break on you. Here you go. Yeah. Don't go to a department store. Don't go to a toy store. In fact, don't get anything that's actively marketed as a beginner scope. If it says beginner on it, I guarantee you, you're wasting your money. So size does matter with telescopes. Bigger is better, particularly wider is better, okay? Because that's like megapixels on your digital camera. It dictates how much light you can get, and so how bright and how sharp, how high resolution is your image. You want something that looks like a Canon. Anything else is a waste of your time and money. That's my opinion. Jack may disagree with me. Yeah. A lot of these guys may disagree with me. If Digby was here, Digby was the one who was actually originally supposed to give tonight's talk. He's out sick. He may even disagree with me because the guys who've been doing astronomy as a serious hobby for their own viewing enjoyment for the last 20, 30 years, they get into the gadgetry and the tech, and they like fancy things. Some of them have Dobsonians that are just big versions of this, that are like the size of my car, same design but just big. Some have fancier things that are computerized, but you know what? If you're not doing the scientific research, if you're not doing the photos that look like they came from the Hubble Space Telescope, then there's no reason to have that stuff unless you just have the gear bug. So where I differ from Jack and others is I'm an educator, and my job is to talk to students, talk to families, talk to people who are new to this, and get people engaged. And the right telescope for you is the telescope you are going to use the most, which means what matches your interests and needs, what's easy to take outside or take on your camping trip, what's easy to set up, easy to use, what's going to be really rewarding for you. So you're going to have fun with this and be like, I want to take this out every night or every week, not once a year. And gust of wind from that storm front hit my car broadside. My brand new Yakima luggage rack, my skybox, ripped in half, and all of my luggage, including this, flew off the roof of my car and onto the highway at 80 miles an hour. Catch. I looked in my rearview mirror and saw this thing literally cartwheeling end over end down the highway. It cartwheeled across multiple lanes of traffic, landed in the median. By the time I parked my car and hiked back to get it, it was pouring rain, so it got soaked to boot. I was afraid to open that soft cloth bag because I figured my telescope's destroyed, right? It took me 2 days to work up the courage to open that bag. Right? Because when I picked this thing up, it's pouring buckets of rain. I ran back to my car and I threw it on the back seat on top of all my other stuff, and then threw other luggage on top of that. And it's soaking wet, and I'm just throwing it around. And 2 days later, I finally got up the courage to open the bag. At the time, I was staying in a national park campground. I had no tools with me, except the little Allen wrench and the little collimation cap that had come with the telescope. Took me 5 minutes to fix it. It's fine. Any other design of telescope, you'd be buying a new telescope. This thing's a tank.
So just a little talk about what kind of telescope you should buy. It was really, really interesting, and I feel like I learned a lot about what kind of telescope we'll buy eventually. But yeah, we'll definitely be coming out every Tuesdays and Thursdays to check out these open house events and be able to play with the telescopes a lot more. And yet again, thank you so much to the Denver Astronomical, that's a really hard word to say, Society for hosting these events. We just joined them and it's really, really awesome. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!